All right, we are back here at Impact Gaming Center. We got Eric L on green black Yawgmoth, and we have Brent in on Izzet Murktide. Round 2. Both players are 1-1. They're actually table number 1, so they have the best overall match win percentage and opponent match win percentage, what have you. But thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight here at Impact. If you're watching live on Twitch, make sure to jump in that comment section. Let me know what kind of decks you want to see. Let me know how, what you think of the gameplay footage. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We put out new content every single week. And we stream live on Twitch, our Modern Tournament, every single Friday. And we just became Twitch affiliates. So you can go ahead and subscribe. Use some of those Bezos bucks if you got them. Looks like we are at 17 for Brent, and already has a Darcy out. Delighted Halfling on Eric's side of the table. So all his legendary creatures that are cast with the Delighted Halfling will not be able to be countered, which is very relevant in this matchup. We're going to do Expressive Iteration, Surveil trigger off of Dragon's Rage Channeler. In response, we're going to cast Orcish Bowmasters, ping Darcy, and make an Orc army. However, Brent still gets to Surveil, puts a Ragavan into the bin, and now we will resolve the EE, or EI, I guess, Expressive Iteration. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. We do appreciate it. All right, to the bottom. Flooded Strand to play. And a bauble. Target myself. Do I want to fetch? Brent, a very devoted Izzet player. Back in the day, he used to play Gift Storm. But now that that deck has kind of obviously fallen off in Modern, he is on the Murktide train. We were talking as we were getting the match set up, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what you're playing. You're very consistent in deck choice. And same with Eric. Eric picked up Greenback Yawg. He's wanting to master it, so he'll probably be playing it pretty much every time he plays up here on Friday nights. There's a Swamp for Eric. Got a Agatha Soul Cauldron, and looks like a Yawgmoth. He could cast it too with Delighted Halfling, but elects to just pass turn. Interesting, there was no attack. Not sure. All right. Surveil off of the Thundering Falls. Brent keeps it. Cast Dragon's Rage Channel. I do believe that was a card he surveilled to the top there. Got an Unholy Hate, an Expressive Iteration. Can't quite see the other cards. Oh, well, Eric has a... Okay, I see. Eric has a Collected Company, which is why he didn't attack or cast anything. That makes so much more sense. Spell Pierce. Pretty good. Pretty good against your 6-mana spell. Is this going to be a grist? Maybe, maybe not. Probably a good idea. Soul Cauldron. Down to 19 goes Eric. Grabs a forest. And we'll tap 3 for Grist the Hunger Tide. And that will resolve. So he's minus, excuse me, he's minusing Grist here to take down the Dragon's Rage Channeler. However, in response, we're going to Unholy Heat with the activation on the stack. So, oh, he's Unholy Heating the Grist. Makes sense. Now Eric gets to exile the Grist because it is a creature while it's in the graveyard. And now he gets to basically activate all his creatures with counters on them as if they were Grist. So he activates, makes an insect token, and mills a card. Soul Cauldron plus Grist is pretty disgusting. Lightning Bolt. Who are we targeting? Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. Orcish Bowmasters down. Keep in mind, Eric does still have a Yawgmoth in hand. Not sure on the other card. Exile the land. Didn't quite see the other card. Verdant Catacombs, the land drop for Eric. Agatha's Soul Cauldron is a pretty darn good card, but it is a very, I wouldn't say confusing, but it is, there's a lot going on, so I'm going to put it on screen for you. You may spend mana as though it were any color of mana to activate abilities of creatures you control. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have all activated abilities of all creatures exiled with it, and you can tap it to exile a card from a graveyard. When a creature card is exiled this way, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Now, because Grist is a creature everywhere except for on the battlefield, it gets to do some nutty things with it. All right, we have Yawgmoth inbound. Unholy Heat. All right, there's Yawgmoth, 4 mana, 2/4, protection from humans, pay 1 life, sacrifice another target creature, put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 creature card, and draw card. You can pay 2 to discard and proliferate. So a ton of text. It is kind of the win condition of this deck. can go infinite several different ways. We're going to get a crack of the fetch land down to 17. Down to 17. But yeah. Dragon Rage Channeler, though, for Brent before he passes turn. Undercity Sewers in, which means Eric's going to surveil. There's a Yawgmoth. Brent. Stern Scolding. Surveil, so that'll hit the bin. Never gets to resolve. All right, there's Zulaport Cutthroat. Whenever a creature leaves the battlefield for Eric, his opponent loses 1 life and gains 1 life. Ooh. Build over a Shieldred, the Apocalypse. Gonna get in there. Down to 9. And Brent gonna call it. Eric takes game number 1. I mean, Grist plus Cauldron's pretty good. Holy smokes. All right, so looks like, yeah, Eric is up 1-0. And we are heading into game 2. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight here at Impact. If you're in the St. Louis area, we are located about 15 minutes from downtown St. Louis. So if you're in the area, come on up. It's only 8, not even 8:30 yet. Come on up. We're open till midnight. You can come up, play some Commander, get some games in. It's a ton of fun. We stream here on twitch.tv/Impact Gaming every single Friday at 7 p.m. We play Modern here on Fridays, and a ton of Commander players come up as well. So come on up, get some games in. It's a lot of fun. Additionally, tomorrow we are having a Win a Duel CEDH tournament. So if you are a competitive Commander player, come on up, win an Underground C. That is first place. There are additional prizes as well, but you can come on up, try your luck at first place, and take home a really nice condition Underground C. But let's get back down there to see what these players are going to be sideboarding, if they'll let us. But yeah, thanks everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, we post videos all the time. We go live on Twitch every single Friday at 7 p.m. And it's a fun time. And shout out to all of our YouTube subscribers. We just eclipsed 100 subscribers. We're almost to 100 followers too. But wait, there's more. Might as well come back up here to the booth. But wait, there's more. We just became affiliates on Twitch, so you can give us some Bezos bucks. We will have emotes real soon, so you can participate and chat with the fun emotes that we have cooking up. Those are down the pipeline. Again, real soon. But yeah, I'm really excited for making more content here at Impact. We've got a ton of games that we play. We play Star Wars Unlimited. We play Pokemon, Keyforge, if you're a Keyforge player, Cardfight Vanguard we just added to the schedule. Make sure to follow us on Facebook because that's where we post all of our events, any new products, any sweet Magic singles we get in. We do Lorcanas on Thursdays and Sundays. I mean, we got a lot of stuff cooking, and a lot of stuff that's already happening. And we've only been open for I think this is our 9th Friday, so 2 months and some change. But thanks everybody for rocking with us. I definitely appreciate everybody who's come up and supported the store and in shop. And of course, if you're watching the content, we appreciate you as well. But let's get back down. I'm off my soapbox. Let's watch some magic. I will adjust these life totals real quick. And hopefully these guys keep sweet sevens and everybody just has a fun time. And I assume Brent will be on the play here. Brent gonna ship his. Eric keeping though. There's quite a few lands that I can see. But yeah, if you're watching live, let me know what decks you want to see in the feature match area. I can kind of try to corral them if we have folks that are undefeated playing the deck you want. I will try and get it on camera. Saw Izzet Slick Shot, Izzet Prowess beat Azorius Control in round 1, and now we've got Eric with Green Black Yawgmoth up a game on Brent. Izzet Murktide. So we will cast Darcy on turn 1. Pass back. Let's see what Eric's got. Walking Ballista. Decent pickup. Play a Forest and a Delighted Halfling. Pass back. That's exactly the start that both of these players want. Ragavan also a pretty darn good turn 1 play for Brent, but he'll take Darcy, I'm sure. Mishra's Bauble. Surveil. Trigger. Gonna keep it. Target you. Let's see. Let's get a little information. Yawgmoth, I think, was the card on top of Eric's deck. Play an island. Your turn. Yeah, that Darcy doesn't have flying just quite yet, so no real good attack there for Brent. Wall of Roots picked up, I believe. Oh, that might have been the card he drew then. Trying to decide, I think, on a Surveil land. Oh, okay, so it was Yawgmoth. My eyes don't deceive me. Down to 19 off the fetch goes Eric. I will say this Izzet Murktide deck, pretty darn good. However, it is best when it is ahead. Now, you might say that's true for almost any deck, but it is extremely true for Izzet Murktide. It is a very rough if this... So counterspell, we're going to Surveil. So countering the Ballista, but it is very hard for the Murktide deck to come back. It is very much a tempo-based deck and needs to keep positive tempo. And if it starts to fall behind, which is why we saw Brent in game number 1, mulligans kind of soon, but you know, he's very adept with this deck and knows when to call it quits. So a Surveil, and then we'll scry off the Preordain. Scry 2, he'll keep both on top. That's a good sign for him. Looking through his cards. Plays a Bauble, Surveil trigger. Puts a Bolt to the bin. Gonna look at the top card. Plays Scalding Tarn. And we're gonna fetch. So down to 19 goes Brent. And an attack because now Dragon's Rage Channeler is delirious. So 16-17 in favor of Brent. I don't actually know what card this is, so I'm going to need to zoom in. Oh, Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. Yeah, I know that card. All right, so Soul Guide Lantern inbound. Eric gonna shock. There is the man with the plan. Yawgmoth. Can't be countered. Thanks to delighted halfline. Halflings. Halfling. I think they're discussing how this interaction works. So he's drawing a bunch of cards here. He's losing life every time he does it. So we'll exile the graveyard. So we can't keep doing this in perpetuity. And a pass back. I think that's a pick your poison that Eric just picked up. Expressive Iteration. We're going to get a Surveil. Keep it on top. That's 3 good cards. -2/-2 counters. Thanks, Eric. Keep the Unholy Heat. Unholy Heat, your dude. Surveil. Spell Pierce, attack for 1. Down to 10. And I got a little behind on the life total there because it was kind of unclear how many times he had used the Yawgmoth ability. But we're squared away now. There's Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Pretty good. Got a Murktide, a Bolt, and an Expressive Iteration in hand. Gonna fetch in. I'm sorry, shock in, not fetch in. And there's a Wall of Roots. A Young Wolf. And we're gonna activate. Put Yawgmoth underneath the Agatha's Soul Cauldron. So here we go. Back at it like a Craftmatic. And they'll kill Darcy, and man, this seems like a kind of a nightmare scenario for Brent here. Not able to go infinite, obviously, but still. Just machine gunning down his creatures. And now Eric's not using the graveyard. Other than Young Wolf dying over and over again. So Brent will need another Soul Guide Lantern effect at some point. He wants to stop this combo. Or, you know, obviously destroy Agatha's Soul Cauldron. or exile Yawgmoth. Here comes a big old Murktide. That is an 8/8. That's a big boy. But again, Brent's still kind of in a rough spot here. And Eric did activate once. Grist, the Hunger Tide. Grist is good. Yep, and that'll take down. Wow. Fail. So he used Grist's ability to sack the Yawgmoth to destroy the Murktide. Gonna exile your Murktide. Interesting. Okay. And a pass back. Expressive Iteration. Counterspell, Expressive Iteration, and a land. We'll play the Spire Bluff Canal tapped. And back to Eric, he'll untap. Haywire might the draw. Undercity. He'll surveil, put Delighted Halfling straight to the bin. Straight to the bin. Activate Grist. Uptick. Wooded Foothills, I believe. Windswept Heath. Make an insect off the Grist. There's a Haywire Might inbound. Yeah, I mean, Eric's kind of just in control of this deck at this, or in control of this match at this point. Granted, obviously, Brent has a way higher life total. He just can't seem to stick a threat. There's another Darcy. Which is all well and good, but that thing doesn't have haste, and it can just kind of get eaten next turn. Thundering Falls puts Preordained to the bin. Brent does have Counterspell and Lightning Bolt in hand, so if he can ever get Eric to 3 life, I mean, obviously. Doing some things. Alright, so he'll exile Darcy. Put a +1 counter on the insect token. And a pass back. Going to sack the Haywire Might to destroy the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Brent just shakes his head and says, yeah. Up to 9. Now we're exiling Grist, so now we've got just essentially 2 Grists on the battlefield currently. All of the counters. Yeah. Eric explaining to him. Can, in fact, activate off of the grist. Makes an insect. Thanks to the first activation. Brent bolting the other insect so that he wasn't... Oh my gosh, another one. And there's the counter spell. That's definitely going to draw the counter spell. But as I was saying, Brent bolting the other insect so that he didn't get another grist activation off of the insect token. And there's a Hipatra. And a pass back. So Eric's inching closer and closer to the combo. He won't even need it. Brent sees the writing on the wall. Eric gonna take it here, 2-0. And, I mean, yeah. The Yawgmoth deck is kind of bad news bears for Izzet Murktide. Eric L taken down. Brent in. Yawgmoth too strong. Congrats to Eric. He'll move on to 2-0. And unfortunately, Brent will drop to 1-1. So Eric's still live to win this tournament. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We do appreciate you. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. If you're watching, though, on Twitch live, make sure to watch the next 2 rounds. We've got 2 more rounds of Modern action. My name's Les Alex. You can find me on the internet. Hey, Cap Kelso, what's up? I love those emotes. But yeah, we will be back momentarily for round 3 here at Impact. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. See you soon.